banned terrorist organization Sikh for Justice has threatened people not to travel on Air India flights from 19th of November because that can endanger their life. This threat that has emanated from this Sikh for Justice organization, which is steered by Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, who lives between USA and Canada and who fights for several Khalistani terrorist organization people and individuals who have been associated with the ideology and philosophy of this organization, has been advocating for a separate Sikh state, also annexing Indian part of Punjab. That is a threat. That is a national security concern that India has expressed in the past also. But apparently, USA and Canada, both these countries have considered Pannu as a social political activist, not as a terrorist. Now, this organization was banned in 2019 by the Indian government. There are several criminal accusations against this government, and as of July 2019, there were 12 criminal cases that were being pursued by Indian agencies, national investigation agencies, Punjab Police and Uttarakhand, who have also arrested about 39 people associated with the Sikh for Justice in India. Pannu has been associated in defending cases of illegal immigration coming from people coming from Punjab who wants to settle in Canada, and several of these people have had links with criminal organization. They were accused of murder, arms act, and other serious charges were against them, and they found some sort of political shelter in Canada. India has expressed its concern about the national threat and national security to the Canadian authority in the past also. But Khalistani group happens to be a politically very influential group, and it is closely associated with some of the political parties in Canada also, and that has been one of the reasons why Canadian government has been reluctant in acting against this group. Now, in the name of freedom of speech and expression, these groups are allowed to operate on the soils of USA and Canada, while several other organizations have been banned by the same countries in the name of their own concerns and their own security threat concerns that has happened. Now, Indian High Commissioner in Canada has also, in a recent interview, has expressed his concern about such threats coming from such organization, and also how his own life is in danger because of such people operating on the soil. We have seen several threats and intimidation coming from these organizations like Sikh for Justice and other terrorist Sikh Khalistani terrorist organization operating from Canada. They have literally targeted Indian foreign officers, Indian diplomats, Indian High Commissioner, and accused them of killing Hardeep Singh Nijjar, also another dreaded terrorist who was killed earlier this year in one of the Gurdwara in Canada that was in Surrey. And since then, the police investigation has been going on. There has not been much substantial evidence or accused who have been arrested or taken behind the bar by the Canadian authorities. But the revelation by the Canadian Prime Minister just a few weeks ago had put India-Canada bilateral ties in a downhill. He has accused that Indian agencies had a role in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and since then India has been demanding some substantial proof or evidences on the basis of which these allegations were made. But Canadian government has not been able to provide any substantial proof or evidence that could establish the link of Indian agencies in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Now, the accusation since then has been a bad chapter in the India-Canada bilateral relationship. Since then, India had asked about 41 of Canadian diplomats to leave the country, demanding a parity in rank and strength. Multiple threat and intimidation tactics has stopped Indian diplomats from working and processing visa in Canada. However, that has started just a few days ago, and after the security situation was reviewed by Indian agencies present in Canada. Now, with the entire episode that has happened because of the threat of Sikh for Justice Chief Pannu, there is a clear hypocrisy that is coming from the Western countries also, because one organization which is already banned in India, which regularly sends threat and intimidation to the government and individuals working for India, has been not considered as a criminal organization, as a terrorist organization, and they consider them as a political and social movement as part of freedom of speech and expression, and that is something that Indian agencies concern, Indian government's concern doesn't seem to have been addressed by these countries, and people like Gurpatwant Singh Pannun goes on speaking their hatred and their enmity, creating an enmity between the Indian communities living in Canada. Now, those who remember Kanishka bombing back in 1985 could easily relate to what the threat and intimidation by Gurpatwant Singh Pannun means for the people who have been traveling in Indian flights. We know that back then about 300 people were killed because of the Khalistani terrorists who were accused of bombing that flight into the air. And since then, Canadian government has not taken much action also against those people who were apparently involved in this attack. And now another organization, which is an offshoot of the same Khalistani ideology, has started threatening people with the same kind of threat, with the same kind of incidences that may occur if they continue to fly on Air India flights after 19th of November. It's a clear threat and intimidation that has been coming from an organization which is banned already in India, and now it's high time that the Canadian authorities or the US authorities would take some action to ensure that people or such individuals who have an terrorist ideology or who have a criminal intent should be stopped and should be dealt with the law of the land.